What would you think if I told you that sleep is really important for your memory and for processing your emotions? I'm Penny Lewis. I'm a professor in cognitive neuroscience at CUBRIC, and I lead the sleep team here. We're particularly interested in what your brain does while you're asleep, and that doesn't just mean monitoring the sleep stages. It also means looking at how your brain is actually practicing things that you learn during the day. So we know now from lots of work that that's what your brain does. It doesn't switch off when you're asleep. Instead, it's very busy, and we can actually control the way that practice happens. So for instance, we might show you a picture of a cat in a specific screen location, and we'd pair that with a meow. And we might show you a kettle and pair it with a whistle sound. And then when you're asleep, we could replay softly the meow or the whistle. And then the next day, if we test your memory for where those pictures were on the screen, what we find is that the one that was replayed during sleep will be better remembered. By monitoring the brain activity, looking at what it looks like during the task, during learning, and then what it looks like during sleep, we can actually see the brain replaying, practicing this information, and we can see that the extent to which it does that predicts how well you'll remember the next day. So we call this sleep engineering. It's the science of how we can manipulate what the brain is doing while you're asleep in order to try and get the best outcomes, better memory, and in some cases, better emotional processing. You might wonder though, is this any use in real life? We're hoping that ultimately this will be useful for patients who have depression and PTSD by making their upsetting memories a bit less upsetting. And we're also hoping that we could help people to remember the critical things that they're most interested in remembering, potentially for exams or other kinds of studies, by getting the brain to practice those in sleep as well.